Oh, il y a un compte à rebours.
Ouais.
Quelqu'un veut de l'eau ou pas?
Ah oui.
C'est parfait.
No.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Q&A. Welcome to the Q&A for the movie FARADOR. We have here with us the director of the movie and the main actors. Edouard, first of all, congratulations.
Hi, thank you very much.
Yes. As you talked a bit before the movie started about the short that the Battle of FARADOR was. I have seen it, and I've also seen the reaction on YouTube, and it was really great. Like the people love it so much. I've heard people say like, "Oh, I go back every year to watch it again. It's one of the funniest things on YouTube." What was the reaction of the fans when they heard like FARADOR was gonna be a full feature now?
There was kind of a disbelief at first. Some of them thought that it was an April Fool's, but the reaction was overwhelming. People couldn't believe it because it has been 15 years, so they did not think that it was possible for this kind of movie to be made. Yes.
Yeah, and you have almost the exact same scene, like it was very similar to what the short movie was. It was the scene, I don't know if everybody saw the short, but it was the scene where they're playing with Tom.
Yep.
You did change a few things, like was it always your intention to keep it like the same as in the short movie, and there was some major change, like
The movie was rewrote many times, but that scene was always in the original script. The goal was not to make a movie about only the scene, but put in a 1 hour, 30-minute range. I wanted to make a movie where this scene was in the middle, so we could understand what came before and what was the aftermath of that, the consequences of that night. Yes.
Well, to me, I think it's a difficult thing to start with this story that you have and to add something on the beginning and on the end. How did you go about that?
I would pass the microphone to the script.
What? Johnny
That's Eric. He's a co-writer. Yes.
Well, in fact, I was not at the beginning of the script writing, so I don't know where you get your idea. But I don't know. It was not trying to do just fan service and just put the short film there. We needed a structure. We needed a story. So we thought about the short film, but like it was just from scratch then. I mean, you go from scratch. You started to get the quest for all the characters, so you can't find that in the short film. So you need to put the short film aside and say, let's do a movie now, and what's going to be the movie. So you're thinking about the feature film and not about the short film. Yeah.
The short film was all about just one joke, but you cannot make a full feature movie only about just one joke. You have to have characters that people can feel things for them, so they can vouch for them at the end and be happy about the ending, and not only laugh about them. You know, you have to give those characters lives, and so they can grow. You cannot start a movie with characters who has who are at this level and finish the movie where they're at the same place. The movie,
You need the arc.
yeah, you need a narrative arc. Yeah. So
And there were none in.
there
the
was
short-
none in the short film because
So-
it was only a joke.
Yeah.
Eric, had you seen the short film before you got on board?
I saw it when I was younger, but I didn't know it had that impact on like the geek community and Dungeons and Dragons community. So it was when the movie was announced in Quebec that I saw the scope of it, because like there were like 40,000 likes on the pages when it was announced, and I was talking about it with people around me, and they were like, "Oh, you're going to play in FARADOR? That's awesome!" And I was like, "I guess, I don't know." And then I heard that it got like all those million views on YouTube, and not YouTube, but Google Video, and all that. So I was aware of it, but like at the end of the process, just before the shoot. So that was weird.
And as a writer, did you know right away that you were going to play part in it, or was that something that changed while
In
making?
fact, I did an audition for the role of Charles before I was a screenwriter on the film. So I had my actor at, and then Edouard and the producers asked me to do a rewrite with Marc-Antoine Rioux. So yeah, and then I came back after it with my actor hat, so I had to put like, I took the hat 3 times. Like,
Isn't that difficult?
I didn't know he was a writer when I chose him for the role. Yeah.
And was it difficult? Because if you're writing, knowing that you.
well,
Yeah.
it was. I said just before the shoot, I said to Edouard, I don't want to think about the script during the shoot. So when I was acting in it with my fellow actors, I said to Edouard, I don't want to think about the script. Don't talk to me about the script. I just want to feel the scenes, just be in the scene, and don't have to answer to questions about the structure and all that. So it had to, and he preserved me, but so that was not too.
Okay, so you left
Too
that
tough.
part on set to
Yeah.
Edouard. And when he started to get on board, what was there like? You cooperated on it, and how did that go to work together?
On the last version of the script. Yeah. When he came on board, the script was already well structured, but he made a good adjustment at different places in the script to modernize the script, because I was working on it for like 10 years. I did tons of versions, and when he came on board, he was there to put a professional stamp on it, because he is a professional screenwriter, and I was not.
You are too, Edouard.
And that was it. And it kind of happened, and there was a lot of work by our producers, Parallax, to make it work with the low budget with ad. So they did miracle with the budget, and so we went shooting the movie, and it was made. And then COVID came, and then there was all kind of difficult setting for the movie to be made, but we prevailed.
Yeah.
It took you 15 years to get from the short to the entire movie. You said something about that already at the presentation.
Yep.
Can you explain a bit more why it took so long, how you got there eventually, and what gave you the idea to make a real movie out of this?
When I first made the short film, I didn't know it would become so popular on YouTube and the internet. But 15 years ago, someone called me and saw my movie on the web. I didn't put it there. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about it. And I saw the millions of views, so I guess I thought I had a good idea. So I sent the short film in many festivals, and I won some public awards. And then I started to write the feature film, and I found Parallax, who are my producers, and then we started the work on it. But it took 15 years because it was really complicated to finance.
Okay.
Because I don't know how it works here in Belgium, but in Quebec, to make a fantastic film is really hard because that's not in our. It's in our culture, but those who finance the movie think it is not. So it took 15 years, and I had to rewrite many versions of the script for many public financiers. I guess 3 years ago it worked because, like I said at the start of the movie, geek culture is mainstream now. Yeah. Whether you like role-playing games, whether you like Star Wars, Star Trek, mangas, every kind of geek culture, every kind of that, it's now considered mainstream. There was some Dungeons and Dragons in Stranger Things. Yeah. There's a movie that just came 2 weeks ago, Dungeons and Dragons. So it's not like nobody go watch those movies, and I'd say it is the main cinematic culture now, whether it's superheroes or science fiction. So I guess we succeeded in making that movie because of that time.
It's the right timing right now.
It's that right timing, yeah.
Do any of you guys have experience in role-playing games or Dungeons and Dragons?
Not a lot. I'm a huge video game fan, or I like the geek culture, but I'm not playing on board, but I play with video games, and yeah, I like the universe of fantasy too. You, my dear?
I played in high school, like for a year, but I don't play anymore. But I'm a huge fan of fantasy and all that stuff.
Good answer.
Yeah. And I used to play when I was at school also, but now I'm listening to some podcasts called La Bonne Auberge. And yesterday on the podcast, they were fighting a dragon. But they were not fighting a... Maybe I should not say that. Un dragon. Un dragon. I wasn't expecting to see the dragon tonight. Actually, it's the first time I'm seeing the movie. And when I saw the dragon, have you seen the movie also? The monster at the end, I was pretty amazed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Belgian actor. How did you get involved in this project?
Oh, actually, there is Octopods, the Belgian producer. They called me saying, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't talk to Edouard Tremblay about the movie." I didn't know the movie. I said, "Oh, thank you, Belgian producers, but did you know me before?" They said, no. But there is somebody in Quebec, from the Quebec producers, Parallax, that have seen a Belgian TV show that nobody saw in Belgium. But somebody in Quebec saw it. So I said, okay, nice, why not? And it was Sonia from Parallax, and she told me, "Oh, you physically, you don't look like the character of Tom, but you got the same vibe." I don't know. So she talked to me that I had to talk to Edouard, and then we met on Teams or Zoom or Skype. I didn't know. It was COVID already, I think. And after 20 minutes, he told me, "Okay, I like you. You can be in the movie." So it was the easiest casting I have ever seen. It was super nice.
Do you feel there's a big difference between Belgium and Canada in movie productions? Or in productions in general?
Actually, in Belgium, I've only done some TV shows, web series from RTBF. Okay. So it's low budget. When Edouard told me, you're going to see, it's very low budget. I said, don't worry, I'm from Belgium. And so, yeah, that's very high budget for me, actually, what we did in FARADOR. But in terms of, I don't know how to say it in English, bienveillance, c'est exactement la même chose. people are very kind and etc. But it was complicated because it was during the COVID.
Yeah.
So
You had to travel.
How long did you have to stay in the hotel before you
yeah,
went on set?
yeah. Actually, I had to stay 2 weeks in a hotel room before meeting the guys. Actually, so I went to Canada and I had to stay 2 weeks in the hotel room. It was super nice. I played on the computer, Age of Empire. It was nice.
Okay.
I won. And then I met them at the bar. Yeah, and we got drunk and we became friends very easily.
That's the best way to start a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Benoit.
The only way, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benoit, you also did a lot of TV series mainly.
Yes.
So this is a full feature.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to, have this whole
Yes.
movie that you're part of?
It was a very great experience. I do some TV shows and it was my first main feature. So I don't know. I'm still living like the little dream of it, and I hope that we will make others because for me it was really good for me.
Yeah, Lucien, you worked with Edouard before, right?
Yeah, we did another movie called Feuilles Mortes, so Dead Leaves. And yeah, and we know each other for about maybe 10, 15 years. It's been a long time. Because I was living in Quebec City for about 20 years, and we work on commercials too, and we were, everybody knows everyone. So in the city, so yeah. And on Feuilles Mortes, it was a small part, but we really hit it off, and it was really great. It's a good movie to watch. Yeah.
And how was it to be back on set then again with him?
That was awesome because it's the kind of movie you want to play when you want to become an actor when you're young, because there's action, there's comedy, it's really fun to play. So be able to do that in a country where we don't make that kind of movie, it's really great. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can go for a short stop in the audience, and if you're watching online, you can also ask some questions online. And I see we already have a question online. They ask if you can tell us something more about the Belgian co-production. How did the collaboration with Belgium happen?
The Belgian co-production happened because in Canada there's 2 ways of getting money if you want to make a feature film, and we only had one of those 2. The other refused. So we had to find a co-producer, and we found them in Belgium. Okay. And it was a benediction because, like I said before, Europe has a medieval culture, and it has real castle. We don't have castles in Canada, only the Frontenac castle, but it's like a Victorian kind of castle, so it didn't fit. So here in Europe, France, Belgium, there's real medieval ruins of castle ruins, and it was a benediction because if we had shot the movie in Canada, we would have to create those kind of set, and here we had them naturally. There was already the structure in place.
So everything with the castles was shot in here in Europe?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
In Belgium or in
It
France?
was shot in Normandy.
Okay.
Yes. At a village called Lassay-les-Châteaux. There was Lassay-les-Châteaux. And those 2, and that little town had 2 castles, and one was in ruins. And when we get there, the mayor of the city just gave us the keys and do whatever you want. So it was pretty easy and pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. So let's see if there's some questions. There's someone in the back. If we can get the microphone over there.
Voilà, je m'excuse, je vais la poser en français. D'abord, merci parce que le court-métrage FARADOR fait partie de ma culture, vraiment. Mais j'ai aussi vu que dans la salle, il y avait des gens qui ne connaissaient pas ce court-métrage, qui venaient seulement parce que ce film est un film actuel. pourquoi avoir mis la dague en plus? Était-ce une raison purement économique? Étant donné que vous avez mis des lesbiennes, vous aviez un peu de tout dans le film, pourquoi avoir mis une dague en plus par rapport à la scène historique?
Parce qu'on est en 2023, il y a des choses qu'on ne peut plus faire au cinéma. Non, en fait, on a tourné cette scène-là. La scène qu'il y a dans le court-métrage, on l'a tournée, mais on a tourné aussi cette scène alternative avec la dague. Et après avoir fait le montage du film, la scène avec la dague était mieux rythmée, était plus punchée. Et de plus, ça permettait de faire le punch avec le draquin à la fin, avec le sang dans les fesses, puis etc. Donc, on a choisi de prendre cette scène-là en se disant que de toute façon, l'autre scène existait dans le court-métrage. De toute façon, si les gens veulent vraiment revoir cette scène-là, ils peuvent aller chercher sur YouTube le vieux film. Donc, c'était vraiment que la scène qu'on a tournée était vraiment meilleure de cette façon. Voilà.
Mais il y a aussi le fait que ça s'adressait quand même à... On voulait peut-être une propension un peu plus familiale aussi pour le film, pour se permettre un plus large auditoire. Fait que c'est sûr qu'avec cette scène-là, on dirait que ça venait tout casser. Un peu ce qu'on installait avec le reste. Ça détonnait beaucoup, en fait, par rapport au reste du ton. Ouais.
And Lucien and Flora, you're also maybe happy that you didn't have to do that scene.
We did it.
Oh, you
It's
did
just that
it?
in
And I
editing...
chose the other.
Yeah.
Then I didn't understand.
And it was like his second day on set. He was naked in the forest, and it was like, oh my God.
I'm sure you had some fun there.
He was sleeping.
On set? Or,
Because
was really sleeping.
In that scene, we are asleep around
Yeah?
the fire, and I really,
You really
fell
fell
asleep.
asleep. Oh,
Yeah.
you missed it.
Because it was a really long shoot, and I was okay. So,
Because you're a method actor.
yes, really, I'm really method,
Is there another question?
and I have kids, so
We
I'm
have
always
two, one
tired.
there and one here.
I'm the first. Hello guys, je vais poser en français aussi parce que votre accent est tellement délicieux. Je voulais savoir si vous aviez été à Bicoline pour vous entraîner ou pour prendre de la ressource par rapport au film. Si vous connaissez Bicoline, bien sûr, mais
Oui,
j'imagine que oui.
On
Ah oui,
connaît
oui, on connaît.
Bicoline, puis on risque d'y aller cet été, mais on n'a pas été avant parce que on connaissait pas trop ça non plus. On voulait voir la réaction des gens aussi, mais là, je pense qu'on est dû pour une belle petite visite. Là. On s'est fait inviter de plusieurs façons à y aller. Et, toi, tu as déjà été?
Nous, on y a été avec ma femme, Daphné, là, on l'a fait 2002 à 2006. Donc,
Ok.
pour ceux qui ne connaissent pas, c'est un jeu de rôle grandeur nature au Québec, à Shawinigan, dans un petit
Ouais.
patelin à 2 heures de route.
C'est le plus gros au Québec.
Oui, c'est ça, ouais. Et donc, c'est carrément un... Enfin, ils ont monté carrément des bâtiments en dur tout au long des... Ça fait quoi? Ça fait presque 20 ans que ça existe maintenant. Et c'est assez incroyable comme lieu. Mais nous, ça fait longtemps qu'on n'y a pas été.
Ok.
Faudra qu'on y retourne. Mais comme je ne peux plus prendre l'avion, j'irai en bateau. Ou à la nage. Ouais. En tout cas, on a emmené notre fille pour voir votre film. Et c'était... Voilà, ça lui a bien plu aussi, quoi.
Tant mieux.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
So we have someone over here. And don't forget to ask on questions this year. You can ask your questions online as well.
Bonjour. Moi, c'est plus pour savoir s'il y a des dates de diffusion qui sont prévues ailleurs, en festival, un DVD ou un Blu-ray, et comment on pourra retrouver votre film par la suite.
C'est une excellente question. En ce moment, on est en pourparlers, j'imagine. C'est plus la production qui pourrait vous en parler, mais c'est sûr qu'il y a des pourparlers qui sont faits en ce sens pour sortir en France et en Belgique dans les prochains mois. À savoir si ça va se faire. En ce moment, c'est ça, les négociations, on ne connaît pas encore les résultats de ça.
On
espère-
demande très
espère
cher,
beaucoup.
extrêmement
Ouais,
cher.
c'est ça. On espère beaucoup. Je sais qu'il se peut fort bien qu'il y ait un Blu-ray qui est sorti au Québec, mais je ne sais pas à l'international.
Ah oui?
Donc, oui.
Oh!
Ah, hein?
Scoop!
Ouais, t'avais juste à être là à Trois-Rivières.
Hein?
C'est là
Ah,
qu'on
il
le
est ici à Trois-Rivières?
Oui, c'est ça.
On va-tu faire une piste de commentaires?
Ben, c'est ça. En ce moment, tout est à négocier et on espère beaucoup avoir une sortie en Europe.
Au Québec, et en fait, il sort demain. En fait, donc, la sortie au Québec, c'est le 21. Donc, voilà. Vous pouvez aller au Québec pour le voir.
I want to go back to the casting process. How did that go? Did you have some ideas in mind? Did you have some big surprises while you were casting?
I did the George Lucas method. What I mean is I did a casting by groups. I remember to have seen a documentary about George Lucas when he did the casting for Star Wars, and he made groups with one Luke Skywalker, one Princess Leia, one Han Solo, one Chewbacca, and he saw many groups, and he chose the best of each group, and he created a core group. And I did the same for FARADOR. I did many group casting, and at the end I chose the best Guillaume, the best Louis, the best for each roles. And
the same group, or you still selected?
To make a one core group that I knew, and I had to test, so I see the friendship between them, to see the unity, because I didn't want the movie to be a show about only one person and one big star that took the show from everybody else. I wanted the stars of the show to be one cohesive group, yeah.
Yeah, you could see that the group was really well worked into each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes I was asking myself, like, who's the main character actually right now? Like, they're all almost equally as important.
Well, on the sheet, it's me. So, yeah.
Okay.
You're a bit more important. Okay.
And we are the third cast, right?
Yes, I had to remake the cast 3 times in 15 years, because I had to rajeunir, c'est quoi? Younger eyes.
Because the cast that you choose...
The cast I chose 15 years ago, they grew up. Yeah, so I had 3 times I had to make the cast more younger each time. Yeah. So that's it. So the last group found themselves in the movie, and I'm quite happy about it.
You said before it's a low, how do you say it again? Low budget movie, but the costumes look amazing. Who did that?
Yes, the woman who made the costume in the film, she worked very hard, and she was really professional. She didn't want the costume to look cheap, so she worked a lot on it, and she was really good. We were really lucky to have those kinds of costumes, because it could have looked really cheap if we didn't have that kind of professionalism.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look low budget on that part. I was really amazed by it.
That's all the budget that in the costume. No, that's not true, but yeah. It was hard for her. it was really hard, but yeah.
And we didn't need to have that level of realism in the costume, because it was a comedy, so it could have been more cartoonish, and it would have worked as well. So we're really lucky, and the special effect as well. They're really beautifully made, but they work because they're a little bit cartoonish. When you make a comedy, you don't need to look like a 250 American movie, you know? Yeah.
So it was on purpose that the shark is a bit...
Yeah, because a 3D VFX shark would have cost too much for us. So we had to find a solution, and I remembered that I really like the old Ray Harryhausen movies, like Jason and the Argonauts, or the old movie, the old 80 movies have all their big monster in stop motion. Even Star Wars with the Return of the Jedi, the big Rancor, Willow with the dragon, and Willow was made in stop motion. So I thought it was a good idea to use that technique, because we didn't have the budget to make a realistic monster that would have aged well. Yeah.
You have done some VFX yourself, right? If I'm correct, I saw that on IMDb. Does that help you in knowing how to make something that the VFX team can make it work?
When I did short movies, I used After Effects on my short movies, to make cheap visual effect. So yeah, I had an understanding of how it worked. So it helped me to explain what I wanted to all the professional VFX artists that was on that movie. On the feature, it was not me. So, but because I did in short movies my own special effects, I had a basis, understanding of how it worked.
Were they on set as well, the VFX team here?
Some of them were sometimes when we needed to know exactly what we were going to do with the green screens, with the different layer of VFX. So sometimes, yeah, the VFX artists were there. Voilà.
Yeah.
It was an inside joke.
We have another question online, coming to you right away. But question for Florent. Are there any other projects you're casted in, and was your international collab with Quebec expected?
Dis sur quoi tu travailles en ce moment?
Bah, en ce moment, je fais beaucoup de stand-up. Can I say it in... I'm lazy. I'm going to say it in French, okay?
It's okay.
Sorry.
He does a lot of stand-up comics
Non, mais
right now.
voilà. Je fais beaucoup de stand-up en fait. J'ai mon spectacle que je joue beaucoup ici à Bruxelles, que je joue un petit peu en France. Et au niveau plutôt réalisation, je joue dans des web-séries belges, pas mal en ce moment. Mais c'est vrai que j'ai pas encore pris l'habitude de passer de casting. Alors et comme c'est un petit milieu en fait, les web-séries belges, la RTBF, web production, tout ça, on les connaît bien, ils nous connaissent bien. Moi, je vais jouer dans 3 petites web-séries belges cette année. J'en ai une qui va avoir une nouvelle saison qui va se lancer aussi cette année. Donc les projets viennent un peu tout seuls parce que c'est un petit milieu en Belgique, à Bruxelles. Mais voilà, c'est vrai que j'aimerais bien peut-être faire des castings et ce genre de choses, ou attendre que quelqu'un en Indonésie tombe sur une web-série belge, sur Ovio, comme c'est arrivé avec la série québécoise. Je ne sais pas, parce qu'apparemment les gens regardent Ovio dans le monde entier. Non, c'est pas vrai. Donc voilà. Et puis, est-ce que ma collaboration avec le Québec c'est quoi la dernière? Was your international?
If it was expected.
Est-ce qu'elle était attendue? Est-ce que il n'y a rien au monde auquel je m'attendais moins que ça. Enfin, c'était un peu fou, quoi. Donc, et c'était extraordinaire. Je me souviens, j'étais voir ma boss au boulot parce que je travaillais sur le côté. J'ai dit bon bah je vais prendre un mois de congé pour tourner dans un film au Québec sur Donjons et Dragons. Et ma boss n'a pas compris. Tant pis, je suis parti. J'ai pris des congés sans solde et c'était extraordinaire. Franchement, c'était des vacances payées. C'était génial. Et puis de jouer avec des acteurs que j'ai tout de suite trouvé fabuleux. Et je leur ai dit, mais qu'est-ce qu'ils jouent bien. Et ça, c'était une sacrée pression pour moi. Et je dis, voilà, ils jouent trop bien, les gars. Et Catherine. Et voilà, c'est une des expériences les plus folles que j'ai fait de ma vie, quoi. Y compris les 2 semaines enfermées seul dans ma chambre d'hôtel, que vraiment j'ai beaucoup apprécié. C'était vraiment bien.
Ça, c'est bon.
J'ai fait croire à tout le monde que c'était horrible pour que les gens disent non, c'était cool en fait. Je lisais des BD, tu vois. Et donc voilà.
Ok, ça va, merci. And we have a question here at the front.
Bonjour à tous. Premièrement, une petite anecdote. Vous le savez ou pas, mais il y a à peu près 25 ans, si mes souvenirs sont bons, il y a une comédie horrifique québécoise qui a gagné le prix du public ici cette année, qui a gagné le prix du public cette année-là. C'est Carmina.
Ah oui.
Donc c'est tout le mal que je vous souhaite parce que le film est vraiment génial que vous avez fait. Et la question, c'est pour les acteurs. Je voulais en fait savoir le jeu, les dialogues, l'alchimie entre les personnages. Tout fonctionne tellement bien, tout a l'air tellement naturel. Je voulais savoir si tout était scripté ou si vous avez apporté de vous-même aussi au personnage.
En fait, tout était scripté. Puis on n'avait pas vraiment le temps d'improviser ou de sortir du scénario. On avait des contraintes de tournage très serrées dues à la COVID, dues au budget, le nombre de journées de tournage qui était prévu. Donc, on a vraiment travaillé avec le scénario écrit par Edouard. Puis on a pris ça très au sérieux. C'était très important pour nous de prendre au sérieux ces personnages-là. De ne pas en faire des caricatures, de ne pas en faire des bonhommes, de garder le drame que vivent les personnages. Même si on est dans la comédie, ce qui arrive aux personnages, c'est presque tragique, en fait. Donc c'était très important pour nous de garder cette ligne-là. Puis dès qu'on a commencé à jouer ensemble, dès qu'on s'est rencontrés, on est devenus très amis très rapidement.
Ça s'est fait justement très vite. Puis ce qui était beau aussi, c'est qu'il y avait beaucoup de premières fois dans ce film-là. Dans le sens, nous, on se connaissait quand même un peu, tu sais. Puis nous, on se connaissait pas. Mais, tu sais, Eric, c'était comme une des premières fois qu'il avait un rôle de... Ben, c'était la première fois qu'il avait un rôle de cette importance-là. Moi aussi.
Moi aussi.
Ben aussi. Fait qu'on était tous... Edouard, tu sais, c'était ton premier film, tu sais... de cette envergure-là. Fait que vite, tout le monde, on était... Il y avait comme une fébrilité, puis vraiment un immense plaisir d'être là, puis de jouer ça aussi. Là.
Ouais.
Ça s'est fait vraiment vite. Ça.
Ouais. Puis après, on a fait le voyage ensemble parce que, bon, le film a été tourné dans la ville de Québec. Moi, j'habite à Montréal, Eric aussi, Catherine aussi, puis bon, c'est à 2h30 de route, mais ça a pris 15 minutes, puis on était les meilleurs chums du monde.
On se racontait des trucs qu'on n'avait jamais dit à personne.
Ouais, exact. On se montrait des photos de nos enfants. Tout.
Ouais.
COVID gave us a lot of restriction while we were shooting, but because COVID gave us restriction, we had to separate the shooting in 3 blocks. So there was a lot of time between each block to really become friends and talk about those roles, to be ultra ready when we were going to shoot. So the shoot with the actors was easy. It was complicated financially and structurally and with the equipment and everything, but the human part of the shooting was really easy because everybody was really ready.
Yeah, question for who wants to answer it. Is there a fun anecdote from during the shooting?
Except for
that
sleeping.
That you want to share?
Oh, there's a lot.
We can talk about the dice. The
dice, yeah, it's a good story.
The 20.
Yeah.
So we were sitting around the table, and between two shots, we had a reservation to a restaurant for the night. A high-scale restaurant. And where there's a Accor, Mets et Vins.
A Mitch and Max with wine and food.
And it's really expensive. Yeah. So Eric told me, if I roll a 20, I pay your wine for the restaurant. And he rolled a 20. And he said it in front of everybody, so he had no choice. So.
And then after that, for the rest of the shoot, we tried sometime to, if I pull a 20 and do other stuff, but we never got 20 anymore. It was the only time, and it cost me a lot of money. But it was fun. It worth it.
I hope the visa had enough credit on it.
Yeah, it worth it.
Do you, for you, Edouard, if you're directing, do you prefer directing scripts that you are involved in yourself, or have you? Because I saw on IMDb that you have mostly, if I'm correct, the things directed that you were involved in writing. Is that a choice, or is it because you haven't found anything that felt yours enough to also work on?
Because I'm not that experienced, because it's my first feature film alone. The other one I did was with 3 co-directors. Because of that, I only worked on my script, but I'm always open if someone wants to collaborate and has a good script, because I would really like to make a movie with another someone else's script, because it would open myself to things I'm not used to, because I tend to do a lot of comedy. I tend to do a lot of it because those are the things I like, but I would like to be challenged with something I never tried. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, maybe last round in the audience, if there are any questions. No?
I don't see anyone, so... is there anything coming up next, related or not related to this film?
For the moment, we have to wait to see if the movie becomes popular. because if it does poorly in cinemas and everything, I guess it will be more difficult for me to work on something else. And if it really works and it becomes good and popular and makes some money, I guess it will be easier for me to go see some producers and start another project. So I have to wait for this one to know if I will easily continue in that way.
But we already discussed some ideas,
Okay.
because we have to be ready if the movie is a huge success. We have to already have something in our back pocket.
That's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, we have some ideas, and we worked a bit with so, but we're waiting to see. Yeah.
Well, there's a good timing already, so let's now just go with the flow and see where it goes. I hope the best.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you have any more questions.
No, I think we
I'm
can wrap it
thinking-
up.
Yeah, we
Merci
can wrap it
beaucoup.
up. Thank
Merci,
you very
merci.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
And they will come with the big book from the BIF for some signatures, and people can afterwards also line up to get some signatures from you guys.
Yeah.
So don't
We
run
would
away
be
yet.
really happy to talk to you
Sure.
while drinking a beer and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah, or two.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry if I'm talking in Belgique.
No, it's okay. I
Non, on est avec Ben.
not everything, because they already explained that they can see that
Bataille navale, des naufrages, des canons.